Hi everyone, let's talk about filtering. In Singapore, as long as you're cycling on the roads, you'll definitely be filtering at least once. And I don't mean this kind of filtering where you're going in front of a filter lane. Okay, I guess it's not really called filtering anyway. So, filtering is about changing lanes while you are cycling. You might need to do this for a few reasons, one of which being that the leftmost lane that you're on will actually lead you to a left turn, but you need to go straight. So you see this guy on the right? He came from the underpass, and lucky him, he doesn't have to filter like what I'm doing now. And let me talk you through it. This is Braddell Road, and in the evenings and at night, I always find this place pretty hard to filter at. Even though it's only going from the leftmost lane to the second leftmost lane, it can be intimidating because this is a pretty big road. As you can see, there's like 4 lanes, and sometimes cars can go by pretty quickly. Cars, buses, vans, and trucks. Personally, what I do is to cycle until I'm not too far away from the point of no return. From past experience, I know that I can start to check after I've passed a particular bus stop. But even before I attempt to filter, I'm already keeping an eye on the road conditions. I make sure to get a sense of the road, how crowded is it, when's my possible window of filtering, and then when the time finally comes, I will just check again to be absolutely sure that I can make that filter. I usually also raise my hand. Even though I've already checked that it's safe to filter, raising your hand out also just indicates to drivers what you're trying to do, and it also makes you more visible, which is always a good thing. Let's now talk about filtering in a group, which is very slightly different. Because if you're in a group, let's say 5 cyclists, and yes, that means 5 pairs of eyes, so supposedly safer, but more importantly, filtering can be made more efficient. There's 2 ways about it. One way is that the person who is at the very back can check and then shout clear so that the people in the front can also safely double check for themselves and then safely filter. There's another school of thought, and I think this applies more in higher speed when the person in the very front, who has nobody in front of them, is the one to turn their heads to check. So at high speeds, you really don't want a situation where people in the peloton are all turning their heads behind to look, and then they don't really watch their front, because this also causes accidents. So no matter what, the most important thing is that you must always make sure that you look where you're going, even as you're trying to carefully and safely filter. The basic takeaway here is that you must always maintain a keen awareness of where you are going, whether you are trying to filter into the next lane or whether you're moving fast in a straight line behind your fellow cyclists. So here's one last filter that's going to happen in this video. I basically like to look out and look at all the slip roads because you just want to make sure that there isn't a speeding or veering vehicle going down that leftmost lane that might not see you. But since the roads are empty at 6 a.m., I've immediately shifted myself to the leftmost lane. This also helps any cars behind me in my lane have a clear path ahead to have a good day.